Hello everyone, it's me again, Tiffany Manger at www.tiffanymanger.stampinup.net, and I wanted to show to you the different types of stamps we have. If you're new into Stampin' Up and you go to look at a catalog, you might see, say you turn to a page and you see, oh, there's two different item numbers and two different prices. What does this mean here? Sometimes there's even three. Sometimes there's only one, depending on what kind of set you want here. Like as you see a big set here, it says Photopolymer. Like, Photopolymer, what's that? Or if you see here where it says wood blocks included and then another price suggested clear blocks, like what does that mean? Well, let me tell you, Stampin' Up has three different styles of stamps. You got your good old-fashioned wood mount stamps, which is when you see, like when you think of a rubber stamp, you think of the regular plain old classic rubber stamp. Then we've got what you call as your clear mounts. Now it's the same classic red rubber like a regular stamp, but it's on a, you put it on a clear block. And then you've also got what you call photopolymer, which is a clear stamp, which is kind of cool with these because they're flexible, so you can bend them to change the shape of them, and you can also line them up nicely to see they're see-through, so you can line them up so you're not missing off to where you're at. And let me show you, I will show you in order from my least favorite to my favorite types of them. I have different kinds. First off, I'm going to show you, this is a version of a wood mounted stamp. As you can see, it comes in a case that's thick. These are also the most expensive types that you'll see. This one here is called Work of Art. This is a cool set. My minus that I don't like about these, the plus, they're the classic stamps. They're nice to hold and everything. Like I said, the minuses that I don't like about it is they take up more room. They're also more expensive. And as you can see, you have to make sure when you put them away, you line them up perfectly or they will not go back in. Like, it's best to take one stamp out at a time. And I got a piece of paper here that I'm just going to grab one and do a quick little stamp on. As you can see, your classic wood mount. They come unmounted, so you have to mount them on yourself. You have to take the foam and stick it on there and make sure you stick the label on correctly too. So if you don't feel like doing any of that work there. But as I said, you just ink it up like a classic stamp. Stamp it down. There you go. Simple as that. And then you would just clean it off and you would put it back in your stamp set, which I'm going to set that up so I can clean out later. Like I said, you got to make sure you put them back in the exact same set way you have them where they come, because if not, you're not going to have one heck of a time playing Tetris here. So the next set is your clear mounts. And as you see, here is a clear mount, or not, yeah, clear mount stamp set. And this one's called Timeless Textures. This one's cool to do backgrounds and whatnot. It comes in a thinner case. It's the size of a DVD case here. As you can see, I've already got this one mounted too. They're the classic rubber stamps like you would with a regular one. And what you would do with these is they're thinner here. It's just the rubber stamp itself. And you would get your clear blocks. Excuse me, mine's a little dirty here. They come in different shapes. They work just as a regular wood mount. It's just you're saving room. These are the medium priced ones. The plus size I like about them is they're cheaper than the wood mounts, and they also save a lot more room when you're storing them. Also, once you got your clear blocks, that's it. You can hurry up and switch out to different stamps. You don't have to worry about meshing them back in that set. They're right there already. You don't have to worry about playing Tetris like you would with the wood mounts. And I'm just going to take one here. The minus I have with them is once you get this label on, they come without the label. And as you can see, I also trimmed mine. I trimmed mine so then that way I don't have as much as an edge. That's totally optional to you. I do that with my wood mounts too. And what you do is you can leave these labels off. They come with a label. That's all you have to do. You don't have to assemble them onto a piece of block. You do that every time. with the labels, they don't stick as well. If you can leave these labels off if you want. Some people do like them to identify them through, so they know which way they're stamping them through the block. So I take a little bit of, you can take a little bit of the Tombow glue, a little bit of clear glue, or the two-way pen glue, and give it a little swish. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, I got a little there, but they just stick. And with the clear mounts, it's clear. You can actually kind of see where you're lining up at. Unlike the wood mount stamps, you can't see where you're going with it. So if you want to get something lined precisely, you're going to have to invest in a Stampin' jig, and even then it's not 100% perfect. Nothing's 100% perfect, but you have more of a chance of stamping something crooked with a wood mount than you do with any of the other stamps. And like I said, you can see through here a little bit. You can see your design. We're going to stamp this one just to show you it works just as a regular stamp here. Ink it up right here and just give it a stamp. There you go. You got your wood texture right there. And you can line it up a little bit. You're still not seeing exactly where your design is, so you're still going to have some crookedness. Again, invest in the Stampin' jig if you want to make them nice and straight. Our third option, and you could just, what's good is you just clean it up, peel it right off, and put it away. And as you said, goes right back into its spot. No playing Tetris like you would with the wood mounts. Now the third ones, and these are my favorites, are the Photopolymers. And this one here is called Picture Perfect. This is a newer set. It's in the Occasions catalog. With the Photopolymer, as you can see, there's a lot. You can get a lot more images in Photopolymer than what in a set than what you can with the other stamp sets. That's what makes it a little pro. Now, if you would have this many stamps in a clear mount, you're going to have 2 of these boxes, or maybe even 3. I've never seen them with 3. I've only ever seen them with 2. You can, with wood mounts, you usually don't get as many images, or you get 2 big thick ones. Comes in the same case as the clear mounts. And as you can see, these are clear. And like I said, my pros with this, like I said, a lot more stamps for your money. They are the cheapest form that Stampin' Up! Has. Saves room. They also, what I love about them is, as you can see, they just come on a thin sheet. That can be a little annoying to line them back up. But again, you're not playing Tetris like you were with the wood mounts. You just stick them right back on your film. And what I love about these is you can do a lot of 2- and 3-step stamping, which 2- and 3-step stamping is when you layer colors on, which I love. I'm going to do this flower here. So again, you just use your clear blocks. And as you can see, these have a 1, 2, and 3. They would tell you what order to stamp them. And they even have a little notch to help you line them up. So we're going to put 1 on this block here. We're going to put 2 on this block. And we're going to put number 3 onto this block. And with 3-step stamping, what I love is it makes such a pretty image without doing much work. With number 1, I'm going to take a light Wisteria Wonder here. I'm going to ink it up. And as you can see right through. You can see the stamp totally. You can see all the designs and everything. If you want something, you want to line up something as perfectly as you can, you're going to use Photopolymer stamps. And you just ink that right there. And there is your first level. I'm going to take a darker purple here, Perfect Plum. And I'm going to take number 2, ink that up. And as you can see right through here. You're going to line it right up with the next one. Stamp that down. As you can see, there is your extra layer design. Now, like I said, nothing's 100% perfect all the time. So I did get it a little off, but that's okay. That gives it some more character. And you also know it comes from the heart because it's homemade. I'm going to take our dark color eggplant, elegant eggplant. I'm going to take number 3 here, ink that up. And again, I am going to line it right down with the bottom for shadowing. And I don't know if you can see this, but now you've got 3 layers of color all lined up. Now, if you would go and try to do this with your wood mounts, you're going to have a much harder time lining it up. As you see, I'm not perfect, but that's okay. Unless somebody's really staring at it, who's going to tell? And it just shows it from the heart because it's handmade. And like I said, you can get all kinds of more detailing and layering and shadowing in with the photopolymers. That's why I like these the most, because I really love this 3-set stamping. Another stamp set, one of my favorite stamp set, is Watercolor Wings here, which is another photopolymer. And this is one I did with 3 layers. As you can see, the 3 stamps with 3 different pinks here. And it just brings in beautiful layering, beautiful coloring. And the downsides I don't like about these photopolymers is when you go to clean them, they do stain. I don't know if you can see this here. They're a little reddish, especially when you go to use reds and yellows. They do stain. To me, that's no biggie. It just shows that you do work and you actually use your stamps when you get them. Another thing I don't like about them is sometimes they are a little hard to stamp because they're clear. You need to have a nice surface. I would recommend either using a tablet or getting a second piercing pad and stamp with that under it. And because when you've got something, when you're trying to stamp something more solid like this, unless you go and rock it, which will end up, might get some of your edging there. I do like these because usually unless you're pushing down really hard, they don't give as much edge as the others, the red stamps will. But if you're doing something with a solid stamp here, sometimes it misses some spots. So I would recommend stamping under a piercing mat. Get a piercing mat just for stamping here. And it gives it a nice cushion. You need a little push under the stamps sometimes. That's really the biggest downfall I find about the photopolymers, but they're my favorites. You just give them a clean up with the cleaner and stick them right back onto their pieces here. And you line them right up with theirs. You also want to make sure you do not put it on the other side of where the image is at, because sometimes they will stick onto the image. Again, that's no big deal. It just makes the stamp look a little uglier, which to me is not a big deal. It shows you use your stamps. If you're interested in anything, this is my website, tiffanymanger.stampinup.net. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on our different styles of stamps. I hope it was informative for you, and if you give a try, I'd give all 3 a try if you can. Like I said, the photopolymers here are my favorites. If they don't come in photopolymer, sometimes they only do because of the amount of stamps. Usually when you have a stamp set with a lot of stamps, or the 2 sets, they come in photopolymer. If not, I go for the clear mounts just because they're cheaper, and it also, biggest thing, they save me room. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and take care now. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye.